Well, good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today? I hope that it is sun shining wherever you are at because it is not very sunshiny here today. So this morning, I am incredibly grateful and thankful for a business that allows me to just walk into my home office in my bare feet and be able to sit down and have conversations with amazing entrepreneurs like yourself. And I know that you are coming from all over the place, whether you are in Pennsylvania or Canada or the UK. I know that there are people from all different backgrounds, all different kinds of businesses. And so I'm just so grateful for social media and the ability to connect the way that we can and to use this platform as a positive resource to be able to inspire and teach and share and motivate and just empower you to go out there and reach your goals. And today I decided that it was going to be a little different. And so I'm hoping that people are going to be tuning in live, but there are questions I get all the time. Questions about, what are my favorite resources? What is the journal that I use? How do I do my meal planning? What is my favorite planner and personal development? And so honestly, this is kind of your time. I have a list of questions that I'm going to go through and answer, but I want you to make sure you bring some of the questions too. All right. So even if you're listening to the replay of this, you can always drop a comment and I will write it down and make sure that I answer these questions. Okay. So thank you, Pam. These are my bobble bar earrings and I've got pink pants on today. So I figured this goes perfect with the pink pants for the day. All right. I figured, you know what, if there's no sunshine outside, I'm going to bring my own sunshine today. All right. So let's get started. So everybody always asks me, on Sundays when I do my plan and prep, I always drop a picture on Instagram. I always share what it is that I'm doing. In this past week, a lot of people said to me, what is that planner that you have on your desk? And so I am going to show it to you because I know that you guys all ask, but I'm also going to give you an honest review of why I like and do not like it because I think that's important. So I use this Brilliant Life Planner. It is ginormous, right? And each month is kind of tabbed out. And I do like that it does have blocks for me to actually schedule like business time. And I'm weird because I actually use Google Calendar and this. I like them both. I do like that it gives me a place each week to kind of reflect. But I find that I don't use this very much. I find that personally, for me, I just want my blocks of time. And I like that this has a to-do list that I kind of add to throughout the week. So business women out there that are trying to get your life organized, go grab yourself. If I were to do this again, and I don't love this big like chunk in the middle, I wish it was flat. I am going to go on Amazon or go to Walmart or Target, and I'm going to buy just a one that allows me to put appointments in there from like 5 a.m. until 11 o'clock at night, and then it has a to-do list. Like that's all I need, right? I just want a place where I can write out what I'm gonna do during my blocks of time because you guys know how much I preach blocking your calendar and your schedule so that you know what you're doing when and then working from a to-do list. So if you're looking for a planner, that's it. Try to stay away from like all the bells and whistles because you don't necessarily need all of that, okay? So that's the planner. Again, I know somebody will say, what was that planner? Brilliant Business Moms Planner. But again, I would do something just much more simple and lightweight that you can throw in your bag and take with you when you are traveling. All right. So that is number one. Number two, and I wrote a blog post about my morning routine, but this is something that you guys always ask me about. What is that gratitude journal? I wrote a blog about it, so you can actually go to melaniemitro.com. If you click on the blog tab, I actually wrote everything and linked it to places where you can buy it on Amazon. But for me, I believe that your mindset is the most powerful tool you have at building a business. If you believe that you can do it, you will. If you don't believe in yourself, if you have self-doubt, if you are always looking at your cup half empty, you are inevitably going to self-sabotage your way into closing the doors for business. And I believe it. I believe it wholeheartedly. And I wrote a post about it this morning on my personal page. And on my personal page, right, was that quote. And I'm looking for it because all of a sudden I lost it. um, where I talked about, champions, you're not born with the skills to be a champion, right? Average people that work hard are the ones that become the champions in life. And so for me personally, when I opened my business up, I didn't have the skill or the qualifications or the certificates or an educational background in building a business or a network marketing business or teaching people health and fitness. But what I did have was a heck of a lot of experience, a personal transformation, a lot of knowledge that I learned through researching how to fuel my body with the right foods and what foods made me feel good and what foods didn't. And I was able to share my experience through social media and just be a resource for people. People began to build an authentic trust and then ask me for advice. When I started offering my services, people didn't blink an eye at purchasing and participating in my resources because they knew that I was somebody of knowledge because they'd watched me go through the process. It's the same thing in building a business. I didn't have a background in network marketing or sales or social media or Instagram or Facebook or photography. But what I did have was this amazing tool called Google and YouTube that taught me everything that I've ever learned, along with all the other people in other industries and the industry that I'm in. And so I made myself qualified because I believed that I could figure it out. And I was willing to figure it out. I was willing to put the time and the energy and the effort into consistency over time. But there are a lot of buts that go in between there. It wasn't like I just said, I can do anything, and I just sort of floated to the top of my organization. No, I had to work on myself every single day through gratitude, through focusing on the things that are going right, by focusing on the small wins, the things that I was accomplishing, all of the income producing activities. I was focused on my mindset, on growing myself. So not only do I just write 3 things that I'm grateful for each day because it sets my mind in the right place and reminds me how thankful that I am to be where I am today. Just like when I started today's live video, I said, I'm so thankful that I get to work from home in my bare feet and that it's raining outside. I didn't wake up this morning and go, good Lord, it's raining, it's going to be a terrible day. I found the positive. And I believe that is a practice that we must work at, right? Secondly, I journal. I like knockknockstuff.com. I just like it. I like that it gives me a journaling prompt. It says how I'm working on myself today. And then it gives you a full blank page to write the date, and then it gives you, I love quotes. I'm a sucker for quotes, and it gives me quotes. So clinging to the past is the problem. Embracing change is the solution. Love it. That's just a great sort of sets my mind off on the right path for the day. And I journal. What's going on in my mind today? What am I feeling anxious about? What am I stressed about? Where's my intention? What do I want to focus on? Where do I feel off balance? Where do I feel in control? What am I proud of? Anything that comes on in my mind, I journal it here. All right. So you guys ask me, this is what I do. And then I read. Now, you guys ask me all the time about, what do you read, Melanie? Like, what is your personal development? What are your latest suggestions? And I want to stop you right there. I can tell you every book out there that I've ever read, but what do you need right now? Is it confidence? Is it leadership? Is it, nutrition or fitness advice? Like, what is it that you need? Then you find a resource or a book that's going to fill that cup. Sometimes for me, it is just reading my daily devotional, my She Works His Way app, and digging into my faith and journaling about that. Sometimes it is a book on confidence because I feel like I need tools and tactical resources to be able to share with my team, or better ways to say things that I don't know how to say. Or sometimes it's leadership because I'm not sure how to lead through a situation. So I find a podcast, the Jenna Kutcher podcast is amazing, right? The Rachel Hollis podcast, the Entree Leadership podcast, all of those are great resources. I see you, Gina, you're asking a question about what is your favorite way to market and expand your market. That's another area. I went to YouTube and I Googled and I found resources that helped me, how to expand my Instagram account, right? How to find real followers, how to engage with my followers, how to increase my engagement on Instagram. What are the best hashtags to use to get authentic followers? Google it. That is truly what has helped me. And then I just find YouTube videos and watch them and do. Watch and do. And I want to tell you, I don't spend hours upon hours just watching video after video after video. I watch a video and then I do. And then the next day I watch one more video and then I do. So I'm not doing information overload. I am taking what I need and implementing, getting what I need and implementing. And then I build that skill set. Take it one step further, and then I teach it. Teach it to all of you, teach it to my team as I am doing, okay? So those are some of the biggest things that you guys asked for me. Another thing, and I'm waiting, you guys are more than welcome to drop questions of things that you have for me, is this. I am a firm believer in planning out my week. Now, I'm gonna stop you right there. When I say I plan out my week from my meal planning to my business, it is not set in stone. And I am not a failure if I don't follow what I wrote on this nutrition plan, right? I am not a failure if I don't follow my calendar to the T, right? I am only failing if I just don't try at all. Or if I plan and then just decide that I don't really want to do that stuff. If I become lazy or make excuses. All right, that's a different story. But planning is just being a smart business owner. Planning out my nutrition and saying, all right, what foods do I want to have in the fridge? What dinner ideas? Like, what are some meal ideas? What are some lunch recipes that I want for the week? So that I can go to the grocery store and I can stock up on good foods and they can be in my refrigerator. And then I can pick and choose. Okay, I want carrots and hummus for a snack today, but you know, tomorrow I'm going to have tomatoes and almond butter. That sounds disgusting, but that's the point. Like, the point isn't to be so rigid that you are failing if you aren't eating exactly what's on the meal plan at the time. But the point is to say, I can't just open up my fridge and magically say, if I don't plan, the food should just be in there. All right. So planning for me is a way to have control and to make sure that I am in fact making good choices. So do the same thing in your business too. Maybe you don't want to stick to a rigid schedule, but you certainly have to know what you need to accomplish and kind of when you're going to do it. And so that you can say yes or no when people are asking you to do other things. That was a very long tangent. This is called Canva. I made this meal plan on canva.com. There are templates. You can actually search templates on Canva, canva.com. You can search templates, and then I go in and I make my meal plan. So breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner. And then at the same time, my trusty little sticky notes where I write down what we need to pick up at the grocery store. Now, I will tell you, we don't typically stick to this. 50% is what we stick to when it comes to this, right? But we know, okay, if we're gonna have, we're gonna have salads for lunch, I need to get them salad mix, right? I need to make sure I've got a protein source. I need to hard boil some eggs. I need to make sure I've got some vegetables. If we wanna have turkey roll-ups this week, we've gotta get the nitrate-free turkey. I need some more avocados. Dinners, okay, make sure I've got the proteins, make sure I have the ingredients. And if I don't make it this week or we decide to go out to dinner, no flippin' big deal, right? It'll just go into rotation. But at least I do not open the refrigerator every night after dinner and go, what are we gonna eat? Let's just order a pizza. I have a plan. Some days we throw stuff in the crock pot. Some days we put it in the air fryer. But the bottom line is we plan with a purpose. It helps us to succeed. Template, you can actually download it as a PDF, you can download it as a JPEG, and you can print it off. You can stick it on your refrigerator, you can share it with your accountability groups, you can put it on your blog, and it looks pretty. And it didn't take me a heck of a lot of time. And every week I just go back in and I change it up, keep some things the same, and I am done. So for all of you that ask me about my meal plan, there you go. It is right there. Okay, up next. Bethany Hensel is asking, speaking of marketing, I love your Insta stories. Do you find it's really helped your business? Abso-freaking-lutely. I have shared this a little bit before, but I'll say it here too, that when I, even just 2 years ago, all of my business was through my Facebook. And I noticed the traction was shifting and changing. My business is 95% Instagram. Pretty much all of my business comes from my stories. People just love to watch your reality TV show. Essentially, that's what it is. You don't just see the Melanie that is doing Business Tip Tuesdays. You don't just see the Melanie that's working out every day or is posting motivational posts. Like, you see the Melanie that is in her kitchen with her hair a mess, that is giving you tips, that is out, on the boat, boating with her kids, going to amusement parks, reading personal development books, sharing life. Like, that's where you see life happen. And I love it because it's not staged or it's not perfect. It's just real life. And I think that's fun. And it sort of takes the pressure off of us to say, I've got to post X amount of times a day. It really takes that pressure off and just makes it a little bit more fun. So absolutely be intentional, be purposeful about it, right? But make it fun too. So totally use that as a resource. All right, so other questions that you have, drop them in the comments below. Please, please, please let me know if you've got a question about something that I do that you would like to know a little bit more about. But those were the main ones that you guys have asked me for. And I will just give you, I always like to share what I'm doing right now, personal development. So confidence is such a big part of our business, right? And this book, so this is an author that actually I've talked to her on the phone before, Kara Alwill-Leba. Don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but she wrote Girl Code, but she also wrote Like She Owns the Place. And for those of you that struggle with confidence, this is a really great book. I like at the beginning, she actually does a little workbook or a little worksheet and kind of has you talk about your mantra and your why, and why do you let other people kind of drive you and determine whether or not you're going to do something. Like, she really just digs into confidence. So if that's where you're at, I encourage you to grab this book, but don't just read it, but do it. Make it a practice to practice confidence every day, to practice positivity, to have your mantra, to say to yourself, like, I believe that I am capable and worthy of all of the success that I envision for my life and more. Great book, great resource. I highly encourage that you read it. All right. Okay, guys, I hope that today's Business Tip Tuesday was helpful for you. I just wanted to share some of those most commonly asked questions, and I have another episode that I am working on for you all. It'll be actually up on the podcast later today. How many of you have small kids or children that are going back to school? And so you've been off all summer and your routine has been crazy, and all of a sudden, maybe your kids are going to school for the first time and you're going to have 7.5 hours by yourself at home. Like, I feel like that was the moment I was waiting for, not to wish my kids like younger years away, but now all of a sudden I had all of this time for me. But I find that that can go one way or the other. You can spend all of your time working on your business and no time getting your personal stuff done. Or, I find that a lot of people spend all of their time on their personal life and forget to do their business. So how do we juggle the two so we have a personal life, a business life? We're disciplined and focused and consistent in making sure that we're doing income producing activities. That will be on the Women Inspiring Women podcast later on today. Working on the editing and getting that up and running now. All right. Okay, my friends, have a wonderful Tuesday and a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tag a friend, share this Business Tip Tuesday. And as always, if you think of something else you want me to share, send me an email at mjmitro@gmail.com, title it Business Tip Tuesday, and tell me what you want to hear. All right. Have a great day. See you later. Bye, everybody.